good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our presentation, Vantage presentation on how to reduce freight elevator door emergency callbacks, presented by Freight Tech and Courion. Today, myself and Joe Maloney will be talking about freight elevator service and how you can utilize that to prevent emergency callbacks and the exposure that comes with it. So the Bronx is up, but the elevator's down. So we just wanted to start with a quick little story. We were doing a modernization on a job that's right on overlooking Central Park, high-end hotel, parking garage underneath. And during the modernization, they wouldn't allow the car that was still in service to be taken out at all to do any preventive maintenance. And they had an issue that the car shut down, was down for a number of hours. They had cars stuck in a parking garage, upset customers that needed to get to the airport to fly to Europe, and it ended up costing multiple refunded flights and overnight stays and such. So the moral of the story is sometimes you just have to spend a little to save a lot. Next slide. So a little bit about Freight Tech. We're a full service company in the local one area. Our focus is freight elevator doors. We do work on some dumbwaiters and other products, but our main focus is freight elevator doors. We stock a large inventory of parts for all manufacturer of freight door equipment. Our mechanics are trained for the repairs and service of all brands of freight elevator equipment. We're on call 24/7. We have a huge inventory of parts for not only Courion and our legacy companies, but also Peely and Otis as well. We utilize IUEC labor in the local one area, and we do provide on-site training support and installation support outside of the local one area. Next. About us, Courion. So leading manufacturer of freight elevator doors and cabs since 1920. We provide service parts for Courion, Security, Harris Preble, Energy, Gilbert, freight elevator doors. We provide installation and maintenance service in New York and New Jersey. Next slide, please. Okay, so the top causes of elevator door failures. Neglect is the number one reason for callbacks. We see certainly that neglecting maintenance is the leading reason for door malfunctions, the leading reason for callbacks, and for large repairs. We want to focus on compliance. Being out of compliance in New York can cost you a red tag, shut the elevator down, and that doesn't go well with our customers. Outside of New York, you're putting yourself at risk for liability and fines. Failing to address the small issues early on, which quickly escalate into major problems. So you don't want to let those trivial problems become huge ones. And then overlooking the importance of proper lubrication. It causes excessive wear and tear on the door components. So sometimes too much lubrication of the wrong type can be a bad thing. So you want to make sure that lubrication schedules are followed. Next slide, please. So why is it important to have regular service on your freight elevator doors? All the things that we know, right? Safety, uptime, compliance, efficiency, most important, satisfaction. So we want to increase the safety and reliability for the tenants, workers, and the cargo being used by the elevator, reduce the downtime and maintenance costs thanks to proactive upkeep, keep the cost of those expensive repairs to a minimum. We want to improve the energy efficiencies as the clean and well-maintained doors require less power to operate, and obviously a more pleasant ride experience for your tenants and workers while smoother and quieter operation. Next slide, please. So how do you know when your freight elevator door needs maintenance? The first thing that you look for, just visually, if there's dirt balls and you can't see the chain through the grease, pretty good indication that they're in dire need of some love. Slow or erratic operation is typically a sign that you need some service. Unusual noises definitely is a indicator that service is necessary. Difficulty opening and closing the doors, and malfunctioning safety features. So if the doors are reopening a lot, things like that, it's definitely a sign that you need some service on those doors. Next slide, please. So what does effective maintenance look like on a freight elevator? It's really no different than on a regular elevator set of doors. You want regular maintenance, and it can be quarterly or annually, depending on the usage. Comprehensive. So we want to make sure that we're focusing on the freight elevator doors. And in a lot of cases, our service departments send one technician out to work on the car. And in many cases, you just can't get a comprehensive service done with only one person on site. And then we want it to be preventive, right? If we're going to do maintenance, we want to make it preventive. So we want to make sure that we have something to focus on. And really, that's where the next few slides go to. Is when I came into this company, that was the missing piece, that the prevention, and really having something that we could send our people out to make sure that we did a systematic review and could do a well encompassing service on the freight door. So I'm going to introduce you to some things on the next slide, if you'll go ahead and so 15 things that can go wrong, or actually it's 15 things that you need to focus on so the elevator doesn't have problems. So first, we have the door and car gate panels. So we want to inspect all hoistway door and gate panels, front and back, if they're front and rear, to ensure they are free from damage. Clean the hoistway pit area immediately underneath the lowest door panel to allow for full operation. Want to adjust the door panels to ensure that proper operation, including overall side-to-side play of the panels in the guides. Replace all missing or damaged door shoes if necessary. Number 2, movable lintels. On pass-type doors, if the door has a movable lintel, pass-type doors, check the operation of the movable lintel plate to ensure that it pivots freely, easily returns to the closed position, and that when the doors are fully open. You need to apply a small amount of lubricant on the hinges to maintain a smooth operation. Number 3, safety meeting rail. Inspect the safety meeting rail, which is a safety asterisk on the door, on the upper door panels, and recommend replacement when required to ensure that the safety meeting rail seals the gap between the upper and the lower door, right? So we can't get our fingers in there. The web straps, want to make sure that we inspect and replace any missing or damaged web straps on the doors or the gates. Again, that's not only necessary for the equipment, but it's for safety purposes. You want to make sure that the user has a good strap to pull the doors closed with. The door and the gate guides. Remove any dirt and grease from the gate guide rails. So that's one of the biggest reasons that we have issues is, keeping the equipment clean and properly lubricated. Apply lightweight oil to the guide rail. So not grease. Grease gets cold and warm, and it affects the ability of the doors to travel properly. Inspect all guide rails to ensure that they are straight and free from damage, and inspect all guide bolts and guide lugs to be sure that they are tight and secure. So those are the first 5 of the 15-point inspection that we're going through. The next slide. Next, we're going to look at the guide stops. We're going to clean and inspect the door stops for damage, distortion, and loose attachment. We have a lot of times where the door stops, they're broken off or they're bent, so the gate's slamming closed. Ensure that the lower door panel rests evenly on the door stops on both sides of the opening and below the sill when the door is in the fully open position. Again, this ensures that the door is not being hit every time a product rolls in and out of it. Adjust as required. If adjustment is not possible, make the necessary recommendations for repair. So if there's not adjustment left in the chain, sometimes you need to shorten the chain and to be able to make the proper adjustments. Door and gate operators. We want to inspect all door and car gate operators to ensure that they are clean and free from damage. Again, you don't want to have 3 inches of dust balls on top of your operator or your door motors. Inspect the operator shifts to ensure that the door and car gate chains are running true and not causing any significant wear on the shiv. And again, this is an opportunity. If you see wear on the shiv, it's a chance to get it corrected before it becomes a large repair with doors hanging and cars trapped in parking garages. Door and car gate chains. Inspect all door and car gate chains to ensure that they are not showing signs of wear. So again, they need to be cleaned. Adjust all chains to the correct length to ensure that the hoistway doors and the car gates close and open to the correct distance. If wear is detected or adjustments are not possible, make necessary recommendations for a repair. So again, this is a proactive opportunity to see where you've got wear that's going to be a failure causing a shutdown later down the road. Last on this list is rod chains. Inspect all rod chains to ensure that they are properly aligned, straight, and free from damage. If the rod's bent, it can cause friction and noise and all kinds of other issues that go with it. Inspect all chain connections, mounting hardware to ensure that they are secure and free from wear. Interlocks, pretty important there. Inspect the condition and operation of all interlocks. Make sure the interlock and retiring cam are functioning properly, free from damage, and securely attached to the door guide rail or interlock mounting plate. Ensure when the door panels are in the full closed position, the door panels cannot move more than 3/4 of an inch. If an interlock cover is missing, make sure that you notify the customer so that it can be replaced after ordered. Okay, next slide, please. All right, so the last 5 items on our 15-point inspection. Limit switches. So we want to inspect all limit switches or slowdown sensors for proper operation. Ensure that the limit switches function properly, they're free from damage, securely attached to the guide rails with proper clearances. Adjust so the hoistway doors and car gates operate smoothly and slow down as required. Emergency unlocking devices. Need to inspect the condition and operation of the EUDs and ensure that they are functioning properly and free from damage. It's important that, in the case of an emergency, a technician or emergency responders are able to get into the hoistway if need be. So those EUDs are important that they're working in proper condition. If it's missing, you need to make sure that you notify the customer and order a new one so it can be installed. Light curtains. Want to inspect all light curtain transmitters and receiver edges and power supplies to ensure that they have proper operation. If a light curtain is not functioning properly, you need to notify so that a replacement can be ordered immediately. Gate contacts. Inspect the gate contacts to ensure that it is operating properly and clean and free from damage. Adjust as required so it is properly actuates when the car gate is fully closed. Want to make sure that the car is not running with the gate partially open. The last one, number 15, retiring cam. Inspect the retiring cam to ensure that it is operating properly and is clean and free from damage. Apply a lightweight oil to the pivot points and the cam and cam power unit and chain. Inspect the chain to ensure that it's not showing any signs of wear and adjust as required. So these 15 items are comprehensive and preventive maintenance. Can you take me to the next slide, please? If we follow these items, it's going to greatly reduce those expensive repairs, keep the unit running properly, smoothly, and most importantly, safely. Does anybody have any questions or comments on the 15 items that we're focusing on for service of freight elevator doors and gates? Okay, so again, the benefits of subcontracting freight door maintenance from Freight Tech, if you're here in the local one area, we reduce the risk. So we have factory trained experts that know this equipment. They have the proper training and the tools on the van to fix the equipment when they get there, not having to make multiple trips. So our responsiveness, again, we're 24 hours, 7 days a week. We have multiple vans on the road that are fully stocked with not only our equipment, but our competition's equipment, and are available for you at the drop of a hat. Next slide. So again, I'll open it up for any questions. If we don't have any questions, I'll go ahead and again, my name is Chuck Tyler. I'm the Director of Operations for Freight Tech. My phone number is on the, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was going to let you finish there with your with the contact information. But while we still had everybody, there's a couple other things I wanted to touch base on. You know, this goes for Courion and Freight Tech as a team. Any quotes, any jobs you're working on, modernization, new installation, even big repairs, you can reach out to Chuck or myself anytime. And along with that, we do surveys. We actually did a survey today. Let us know where it is. We'll come out and survey the job for you, and then put the pricing together after that for the material and the labor. And one other item I wanted to touch on, obviously, you know, Courion and Freight Tech are part of Vantage. So we also provide EC pixel controllers and Galaxy controllers. Our iLearn Courion door controller is only 5 inches by 12 inches. This can be pre-installed directly into an elevator controller. This saves room in your motor room, wiring. Everything's pre-wired, so that saves time in the field. And you got one nice package in the motor room for all your controls needs, freight door controller and elevator controller. Other than that, again, you know, we still have our shop on Long Island, but our new Freight Tech home base is at our new Vantage location at our Northeast Regional Service Center in Astoria, Queens. Everyone's welcome to stop by anytime. We have our showroom, training center, and our parts operation out of there as well. So definitely need to come stop by there when you get a free chance. And yeah, again, if anyone has any questions, let us know. Otherwise, we have our teams out there ready to serve you guys. So let us know when we can help out.
We also have a brochure available for this clean, lube, and adjust service. Whether or not you're in the local one area and you want to utilize Freight Tech services, or if you would just like a copy of this for your own use, you know, servicing your freight cars, happy to send it out to anybody that would like a copy of it. Just shoot me an email or give me a call.